Welcome into the FTN Network YouTube channel. I'm Michael Govier. This is Fantasy Baseball Preparation for Week 15 live. You want to jump in the live chat, say something, ask a question, trade reviews, roster decisions, streamers. We do it all here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, MJ Govier, and subscribe. Hulk smash the like button. I'm sure you've heard that before, and you've heard me say that before, so it's a lot of redundancy happening here. But that's fantasy baseball, right? It's a grind. And the redundant fact is we're trying to find players so we can win our leagues. We want hitters. We want two-start streamers. Tarek Skubal back in business. Very exciting. Can't wait to see Tarek back on the mound for my Bozo Tigers. And if you love fantasy baseball like I do, then you clearly need to be in bed with FTN Fantasy. Go to ftnfantasy.com. Check it out. Vlad Sedler's Standard. The Standard. Fab article every week. Breaks down all the schedules, every position, bids, ranges of bids. It's so good. You got Eric Cross giving you his weekly crossed up. There's so much going on. All of it happens at ftnfantasy.com. Give it a shot. Take a look. If you're playing fantasy baseball and you want to finish the season strong, you should be connected to FTN Fantasy. Look, two-star streamers this week. Some good options, actually. And on top of the list for me is Tarek Skubal. Yep, that's not a surprise. He's going to be real good. He's going to be rock solid. Rest of season, I'm all about Tarek Skubal. We can get, it's July 1st, depending on how he's used. I've used this example before, but remember, Jesus Luzardo came back last year on August 1st, and they were able to get over 70 innings out of Jesus. So you would at least expect to get 70 more, most likely, from Tarek Skubal this year. Everybody should add him. All across the board, 10 teams, 12 teams, 15 teamers, the deepest leagues, the shallower leagues. Tarek Skubal, if he's healthy and everything's fine, and from all the rehab starts he did, he took his time to come back from this injury. He was patient, and now he's ready. And I expect him to ascend under the excellent guidance of Tigers pitching coach Chris Fetter, who is so underrated. This is a guy who did not get enough attention. We should all be singing the praises of Chris Fetter, who will eventually be an MLB manager soon. I do believe that. But him and Tarek Skubal together, that's good stuff. So you got to get Skubal. Odds are it might be tough to find him now because he was already being hyped. I mentioned him in Groovin With Govier, my weekly fantasy baseball roundup article every Tuesday on ftnfantasy.com. So Skubal could be tough to find. Domingo Germán coming off the perfect game, which I've got issues with. That's a conspiracy theory. Perfect games are perfect games. They're very, very special moments. But Domingo Germán's had some problems with the sticky stuff this year. There's multiple episodes. He's been suspended once this year already. Just saying. But he's got a two-start week against Baltimore and the Cubs. I don't love it, but it's on the list. Kyle Hendricks, sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not so great. But he's got Milwaukee and New York Yankees on the road. Those are both offenses that Hendricks should be able to tame with his changeup. And then J.P. France, 2 home starts against the Rockies and the Mariners. These are 2 offenses that are, the Rockies' offense stinks when they're on the road, especially. And then Seattle's offense has underperformed this year. So I like J.P. France in that 2-step. And then I'm throwing out Graham Ashcraft of the Cincinnati Reds at Washington, at Milwaukee. Ashcraft just came back from the injury he had where he, had a little bit of a leg issue, but it was nothing serious. But it put him on the IL for a minute. But he came back strong against the Padres after being ripped by Atlanta in his first start. He went 6 2/3, struck out 7 against those Padres who are just not good. And that's a guy you want to add to your roster. He's very, very available, especially across Yahoo leagues. Graham Ashcraft, 2-start week. Definitely pick him up if you're looking for a quality 2-step. I have him ranked pretty high this week in terms of 2-step streamers, even though he's at the bottom of that list. That wasn't particularly a list. That was just 5 options. And I should make that clear to you. That wasn't from 1 to 5. Okay? All right. Hey, how about some hitters? It's kind of a lighter, slower week to add hitters. There's not like a must-add guy this week. And we're coming up on the All-Star break. Remember that. The All-Star break's going to throw things out of whack here. So we're just about to get into that mode where you take a break and you review, what have I done? Where did my season go? Season does fly by. We're knee-deep in the day-to-day, especially if you're playing DFS too. Every day you're grinding. And then suddenly it's July. And football is knocking on the door. That's right. Football season's here. But baseball said, hold up. Wait a minute. Not yet. Slow your roll, football. So let's take a look at some hitters I have lined up for you this week. I don't love the list, but Tommy Pham is playing well. He's on a heater. I thought he would start to cool down this past week, but he kept on rolling. So you got to have Tommy Pham if he's available. If you're looking for a guy who can give you a little bit of everything, Tommy Pham can do that. He's got power, he's got speed, he's got a good eye. And when he's hot, he's hot. Carlos Santana's been showing a little pop lately, and as always, getting on base. Excellent OBP ad. Carlos Santana pretty wide open in a lot of Yahoo leagues again. Heimer Candelario of the Nats. Woohoo! Yippee! I'm not a fan of Heimer Candelario's bat myself. Kind of think it's always overhyped. There was once upon a time where Heimer Candelario was the cornerstone of the future for the Detroit Tigers. That did not happen. Did not come to fruition. But I can't argue the fact that Candelario is a serviceable hitter. And I'm not going to deny you guys the chance to add a player who can help you out. So Candelario is widely available, and if you're looking for somebody at a corner infield situation, third base, you need to fill in, or just add because he's hitting well right now, then, jump on the Candelario bandwagon. Why not? Then Drew Waters, the former highly touted prospect, playing well for the Royals right now. He's getting the opportunity, and that's a guy who should only get better. He's a really good athlete. Drew Waters is an outstanding athlete, and I'm glad that he's getting run in Kansas City. It's just too bad that Edward Olivares doesn't get run. It looks like Edward Olivares is never going to be a thing, and I need to accept that. So I moved over to Drew Waters, and that's just what you do. Then these last two, the old man, Jason Hayward, he's really swinging a good bat right now for the Dodgers, and he's been playing consistently over the last week, and he's totally available. Jason Hayward is absolutely wide open on almost every waiver wire across fantasy baseball. So if you're looking for a guy that could give you a little bit of a boost, check out Jason Hayward. And then Luke Raley. Luke Raley's been around all season. Luke Raley's been good in moments, and he's been very usable in certain weeks. And he just continues to be a guy who can give you some power. And if he plays consistently, depending on the schedule and the matchups, Luke Raley's a guy to put in your lineup and take advantage of it because he's definitely a solid bat. He just, certain weeks, depending on the matchups, Luke Raley is more useful and less useful. But he certainly has impressed me this year. I thought Luke Raley was an afterthought, and he's shown me to be much more than that. Good for you, Luke. Oh, there it is. That's it. It's real simple. Nobody's in the live chat. It's 4th of July weekend. Today's Canada Day, by the way, so this is like the 4th of July of Canada. Canada! Happy Canada Day. I'm with my wife in Canada this weekend. We're having a great time, and then we'll celebrate Canada Day now, and then we'll have our 4th of July. We do it all. So hope you all have a wonderful holiday weekend. Enjoy your time, whichever country you are in, whatever you observe. I hope that your fantasy baseball goes well in all of it, whether it's your streamers or your hitting ads or trades. It's a great time of year to make a trade. You're at a point where you're trying to win a title and maybe another team's done. It's time to take advantage of them, take their best players, give them some future assets. If you're in a keeper league, in a dynasty league, obviously you've already been working on this. It's a great time once the All-Star break rolls around, which is coming up real soon, to stop and reflect and say, well, what did I do right? What is working for me and what isn't? Because it's not too late. You can still make a run. If you feel like you're kind of middle of the road team that is just kind of humming along, but not dominating and doesn't look to be special, well, then take a look at that team. See what's going on. Look under the hood. Make those changes. Be the change you want to see in the world. Whether it's fantasy baseball or anything else, the rule still applies. Thanks, everybody. I'm Michael Govier. Follow me on Twitter, MJ Govier. Of course, I do a bunch of other work here, FDN Fantasy. You can read every Tuesday, Groovin With Govier, and I already told you about all the awesome people, FTNFantasy.com. So if you want to win your fantasy baseball league, it's not too late to join up. Use my promo code MJGovier, save 20%. That's a good thing. All right, everybody, have a great time. Enjoy your lives, and I hope all your fantasy baseball wishes come true over the next week.